campaign to save Philadelphia's 2300 Arena was created earlier this month. The 2300 Arena is also known as the ECW Arena and has held many wrestling events since 1993, such as the first ever ECW pay-per-view, Barely Legal, countless Impact, MLW, and Ring of Honor wrestling events, and even Evolve 108. The venue needs help to stay afloat this winter and beyond. As of this recording, $1,240 has been raised so far. The goal is $100,000. If you wish to help preserve the iconic pro wrestling citadel, we have some official information.
Of course, they say we ask for your help to save the 2300 Arena, a.k.a. ECW Arena. If you want to know how, first of all, every dollar counts. Contribute and help us take it to the next level of reopening successfully. Please help us keep this legacy alive.
Flex your social media muscle. Share our GoFundMe campaign to your network via social, email, text, or podcast. Hashtag Save2300.
Also, point businesses their way. In fact, they rent the space to everything from weddings, galas, award shows, live televised music performances, sporting events, TV productions, and of course, pro wrestling events.
Huh. Somebody should tell Vince about this for the Thunderdome. Yes, and there are donor perks, folks. If you donate up to $99, you get the Hero Spotlight, and you'll receive a thank you on their website.
If you do $100 to $199, well, hats off. You'll receive a 2300 Arena branded winter hat plus the thank you on their site.
Wouldn't that be hats on?
Oh, hats on, hats off, baby. Don't flip your wig.
And for the $200+ donators, you receive the rank of Gladiator. And as a sign of their eternal gratitude, you will get a personalized plaque on our 2300 Arena donor wall, plus a thank you on the site. You should also get the hat. Cool. I feel like. Usually, when you run a Patreon, the higher tiers get everything the lower tiers get, right? Right?
Damn it, Paystee. They're doing their best. They're giving you a thank you on their site. What more do you want?
I feel like
all of your friends that go to the 2300 Arena website are going to see the thank you, Paystee. You know how many of your friends and family visit that daily?
3. That's a steep number, actually. No, but what? Seriously, why doesn't somebody like Vince or Tony Khan just cough up $100,000 to fix this problem?
Well, first of all, Vince doesn't give a fuck about it, even though it's in his backyard. And the other thing I would have to wonder, and I don't know, is in this day and age with COVID, what is the statewide, countywide, citywide regulations, on running shows there? You know what I mean?
Yeah, Florida's the Wild West, but I think the rest of the country is a little bit more tight on all that.
Exactly. So
Southeast is the Wild West.
I'm going to assume somebody will step in and give a big donation. I would hope. I mean,
Tommy Dreamer can pony it up, right?
The fact that they're only at $1,240 on a $100,000 goal, that's shitty.
Yeah, that is really shitty.
So I would hope. I've got many memories watching on television, never been there personally. I would love to go there personally one day. So, if you're willing, if you care, if you want to, if you're interested, it's GoFundMe / Save2300. So check it out.
Let's see if we can get hashtag Save2300 trending like fuck 45.
Yeah, exactly. if all you do is just share the links and share the hashtag, that helps out a whole lot. So do your part. And Paystee, these people are doing their parts by coming and going in the wrestling business, because the wrestling business is an ebb and flow. And of course, we bring in the comings and goings with the aforementioned coming Matt Sydal is officially All Elite Paystee as he signed a contract with All Elite Wrestling.
God, that feels like such old news, doesn't it?
It feels like it is, but it's finally official. Sydal made his AEW debut at All Out, where he was a surprise entrant in the Casino Battle Royal.
Best spot in the match.
But before his move to AEW, Matt Sydal had wrestled in several promotions like Impact Wrestling, Ring of Honor, New Japan, and WWE as Evan Bourne. During his career, he's held the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championship twice with Ricochet, the IWGP Never Openweight Six-Man Championship with Ricochet and Satoshi Kojima, the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championship with Christopher Daniels, WWE Tag Team Championship as Air Boom with Kofi Kingston, and for his singles gold, he has held the Impact X Division Championship. He also had a Wrestling Observer Match of the Year in 2016 with Ricochet and Will Ospreay versus Adam Cole and the Young Bucks. And folks, if you have not seen that match, go check it out.
I haven't seen that. I need to check it out. But now that we've handled the coming, it's time for the going. As Marty Bell announced, she is no longer under contract with NWA. Bell tweeted her thanks to the NWA and NWA locker room while also expressing her excitement over what's next in her career. Bell debuted on NWA Power Episode 4 and last appeared with the NWA on Episode 21 of Power earlier this year, losing three-way match against Tasha Steelz and Ashley Vox. Bell also last wrestled at the Collective last month, competing in GCW for the Culture and Shimmer Volume 118. She is also the current Shine Tag Team Champion as BTY, Better Than You, with Jamie Jamison. The news comes just 2 weeks after we reported former NWA World Women's Champion Allison Kay also announced she is no longer under contract with NWA.
Oh,
I hope this isn't bad for NWA. Like, are they going under?
You know, I don't know. I think they're going more towards per appearance deals than contracts is my guess.
I know after Dynamite, it's got me thinking Thunder Rosa's signing with AEW.
Yeah, and I wouldn't blame her. Allison Kay very well could sign with AEW, and that would be good for AEW, as we mentioned. It is sad because NWA has had great women wrestlers, but you know, NWA is one of those groups that they don't necessarily have to have contracted wrestlers to have great shows. The people who aren't denied wrestling for NWA from their contracts seem to have a positive experience in NWA. You know, we've heard James Storm is no longer with NWA either. They're losing some big time people.
And shortly after they got them.
Yeah, it does really worry me, but it's also, I think it's just a product of the time with COVID the way it is. I think they're getting rid of the contracts and
let them go and reel them back when times are better, right?
Yeah, or just do per appearance deals. And this isn't coming from any inside knowledge of me. That's just my guess of how it's going. You know,
you gotta think that they lost Stu Bennett to NXT.
Yeah,
like a lot of people, been going to a lot of places.
Yeah, so it's
whatever happened to Carney Land? Did that not last like they had anticipated?
It didn't. They did it for about 4 weeks, and then they didn't do anything for like 4 weeks, and then there was
just
like
as long as NWA Power for the most part.
Yeah, it didn't last long, but you know, at least they were trying things.
Yeah.
And if I know Billy Corgan at all, and I don't, he's not giving up without a fight, so he's not letting this go down easily.
Yeah,
I think there's still a positive exit for NWA. I just think they're going through hard times right now, and they're doing what they have to do to keep the company afloat.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure. But one thing I do know is there are some pro wrestlers who aren't quite staying afloat, and that brings us to our injury report.
Are you still talking about Shad?
Yeah, that's good stuff. Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke have been replaced by Peyton Royce and Lacey Evans on Sunday's Raw Women's Tag Team Survivor Series match. According to Dave Meltzer, the change was made because Rose was injured during last week's Raw. In the aftermath of a singles match between Raw Women's Champion Asuka and Nia Jax, a brawl ensued between members of Team Raw. Jax grabbed Rose and tried to fling her through the ropes. Unfortunately, Rose got tangled between the ropes and landed very awkwardly on her shoulder. Meltzer noted that although Jax had developed a reputation for injuring talent, she was not at fault for this incident, since it was clearly a freak accident. And there are clips online, and I did watch it, and it does look like Rose just went wrong into the ropes. It looks like her one leg kind of got caught on the top rope, and that I don't know if she was using one arm to try to roll over, but then kind of got stuck on that also. It was really awkward however she landed in it. I almost think you got to give this one to Rose as screwing up herself, but nonetheless, it's never good to see anybody get injured in the ring.
Yeah, definitely not. In other news, Arturo Rua suffered an arm injury during this week's NXT loss to Kushida. The fear from within NXT is that Rua suffered a torn biceps during the match, according to Fightful Select, but specifics have not yet been confirmed. This match was not scheduled to be a one-off appearance for Ruas, as WWE apparently had more creative plans for him moving forward on the black and yellow brand. Besides last night's match, Ruas filmed some additional material for WWE's digital channels, but the content did not air due to the injury. God, they really don't like people who get injured.
No, they don't.
Green is another one. She was just talking about that. She just keeps getting sidelined for shit.
Yeah, I guess the more people you have, the more injuries you're going to get. And speaking of, worse than injuries, but longtime folks. Longtime journeyman Silvano Sousa has passed away Thursday due to complications from COVID-19. He had already had underlying conditions and been ill for just 10 days with the virus before his death. Sousa had major back surgery in June, which we're sure couldn't have helped matters at all. Sousa is a name that many fans from the northeastern United States are probably familiar with, primarily from his many years as enhancement talent with the WWF.
Yes.
Paystee, let us know a little more about this feller.
Yes. Born William Sousa, he was originally from Providence, Rhode Island, and began his pro wrestling career by suggesting to the wrestling promoter at Jack Witchy's Sport Arena in Attleboro, Massachusetts, that instead of paying him to be in the audience, to give him a job. He started by sweeping up after the matches, then ring assembly, and then finally as ring attendant, which brought him to the locker room where he met Bruno Sammartino.
Yes, Paystee, and it was on-the-job training with Bruno that got Sousa started, and he received further training when on an all-Japan tour. In fact, it's almost unfair that he is remembered mainly for his WWF losses, as he actually worked across North America at various times, and a tour of Japan brought Sousa to worldwide attention and furthered his training during the All Japan Pro Wrestling Summer Action Series back in 1976. He fought opponents such as Hiro Matsuda, who brought Hulk Hogan into the game, Giant Baba, who created All Japan, and in a rare, at the time, Gaijin versus Gaijin battle, he lost to the Destroyer Dick Bayer.
The Dick Destroyer, as I like to call him.
He will destroy that dick, baby.
Sousa was a champion, too, but under a different name than Silvano Sousa. Out in Western Canada and Stampede Wrestling and the Vancouver-based All-Star Wrestling, he was known as David Silva. He won the All-Star Canadian title in May 1982.
And that is not the Dave Silva that does most of the artwork for Conrad Thompson's group of podcasts. Very different Dave Silva. But then, of course, in the WWF in the late 1970s, and just prior to the national expansion in 83, Sousa was a regular at TV tapings and at house shows, almost always on the losing end, though. He continued to wrestle and promote, which eventually got him inducted to the New England Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame in 2013.